How's it going today, guys? Back with another video talking through all of the stuff that I have up in my studio. The topic of today's video, Rod Stewart. So Rod Stewart, probably the most random item from an outside perspective of what I have up in my studio, simply because it's Rod Stewart. I didn't grow up on Rod Stewart. I did grow up on Rod Stewart, I'll get to that, but I didn't grow up when Rod Stewart was, in the height of his fame and popping and doing his thing. I guess I'll lead into it with that. So why Rod Stewart? So I did grow up on Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart is my mom's favorite act, my mom's favorite artist. She has seen him in concert numerous times. I haven't yet. I have not yet seen Rod Stewart in concert. But that's okay, because Rod Stewart's he's a legend, people. He's going to live to at least 150, 60. I'm going to have the chance to see him 5 or 6 times, I know. I grew up listening to Rod Stewart. My mom was an avid Rod Stewart fan. He was on in the car all the time. My mom had all the CDs and all of that stuff, so I really grew up knowing an extensive catalog of Rod Stewart songs. It took a long time for him to reach, my GOAT list, if you want to call it that. And it actually took a pretty, inside story with my best friend for that to play out. Here's the backstory on it, and I think all of us have these stories, whether it be with friends, family, significant others, whatever you want to call in our lives, where we have these, relationships or stories or situations, inside jokes that almost build into something, between you and someone else or a group of people that makes no sense to the outside world, and that you really can't put real words or context to it, because it'll never make as much sense to anyone else who hears about it than it does to you. And so my buddy Luke and I were, I want to say, and I hope he's okay with me telling the story. It's not like a bad story or anything, but it's just one that is kind of specific to us. We were both going through it, I'll say, a tad, our freshman years of college. He had just moved out to Los Angeles. I was out visiting from Wisconsin. I was out visiting him for the first time. Both of us were just going through, kind of going through it mentally for different reasons. We're going through different, struggles, growing pains, stuff like that in our own individual lives. And there was a specific day where I was super overwhelmed with work. He was super overwhelmed with some stuff that he had going on in school and all this stuff. We never really let it get between him and I. And I just want to make that abundantly clear. But we were kind of like at each other's throats this day that I was out there a little bit. He had to go to class at USC. I had to get some work done at the house, but for one reason or another, we had to travel together. And I was like, fuck it. All right, I was like, fuck it, it's fine. Let's just go to your class. Not gonna make you skip it, blah, blah, blah. We kind of have like this like silent ride down to USC. We pull into the parking garage. There was this like moment where we're about to shut the car off. I don't remember if it was his phone or mine. Forever Young comes on the shuffle by Rod Stewart. And I could almost get like, it was like we kind of just like looked at each other and he knew not to shut the car off. And we both kind of and we never listened to this song prior. We never even talked or listened to Rod Stewart, I don't think, not knowingly, together prior. And it was just like this moment. We were like sitting on the top of this parking structure at USC. You can see, I don't remember if it's even the whole LA skyline, but it's like, for me, like it was my first time in LA. He had just moved out there. It's a different life from, Wisconsin, specifically small town Greendale, Wisconsin. And you kind of just like listen to this song. We both kind of start, singing, we're both like, it's just like this subtle, kind of like, all right, and the mood starts changing. We start just kind of like, it starts picking up, starts singing a little bit louder, maybe some air drumming starts, some steering wheel drumming, some dashboard drumming. And by the end of this song, we're both like, I'm not going to say like, but we're in it. Almost like, it went from being like this down moment to like, literally one of the best moments and honestly experiences of my life. And I hope that he would say the same thing. And just like this moment of like, we're in LA, like we're no longer in high school, we're branching out in the real world. It was just like this crazy, like everything coming together moment. And by the end of the song, like just a totally different vibe, mood, this or that. And I don't think either of us really understood it at the time, but this literally, is now just a fun of Rod Stewart, and specifically that song, but it grew obviously to be Rod Stewart as a whole, just became such a pivotal part of our what was already this tremendous friendship. What's crazy is that like we, basically just started growing. Like it's like this inside joke or this inside connection and thing, and it just from there it kind of like was a little gradual. Like we put either the song on and then we'd kind of pick it up, or we like just and then we'd maybe talk about Rod Stewart, and then we'd like the carpool karaoke that he had with James Corden. We watched like, this guy is a legend, oh my gosh, like I would have given you all of my there's someone who's torn apart. And then we dive a little bit more into it. I started, randomly buying vinyls and sending it to him in California, just like these small gifts and stuff like that. And over the years, it's just grown into this like, where Rod Stewart's just this bigger than life, absolute legend, to the both of us. This like unattainable, almost mythical figure. And I think that's part of the reason we haven't actually gone to see him. We've had opportunities to. For one reason or another, it's like always fell through, but it's almost like fitting that it has, because it almost keeps building this like Rod Stewart lore between us. What's really interesting is like, and I won't go into, all the specific examples, but like as he gets more busy, as I get, more busy in my own life and career, and we don't, whether it's we don't see each other as often, we don't have trips as often as we used to, Forever Young always seems to like find its way into our lives at really odd times. There'll be times when I'm going through it, vice versa with him, and we always kind of call and let each other know, but it's super odd actually. Like, I'll say a story for me, like I was going through some shit with work. It was when I was really transitioning careers. It's probably like 2-3 years ago now. This is just the first example that popped in my head, but I promise you guys watching that there are literally, I would say at this point, 5 or 6 instances between the two of us where this has popped up at like weirdly pivotal moments. And I was like really doubting myself, this and that. And I literally got in the car, and I probably have, tens of thousands of songs on my phone. And I'm just in my own fucking head. I just made the biggest, at that point, career decision. I left the job that I was at. And I actually tried to call my buddy Luke, which is actually why I'm wearing this shirt, by the way. Very fitting. This is his band, Voila. So check them out if you haven't. I wear this shirt a fuck ton. I wear the hat all the time. Not because I'm just trying to plug him all the time, but literally they make tremendous music as well. Total sidebar, but I tried to call him, and he actually didn't pick up. And I was just like, fuck, like I really needed to talk to him, like, because he helped, one of the most down-to-earth, just bright, smart, intellectual, just most well-rounded individual you could ever meet in your life. He's just everything. I was like, fuck, I really need his advice right now. I really need to talk to this guy right now. And he doesn't pick up, which obviously makes sense. Called him out of the blue. But I literally plugged the aux in and hit shuffle, and Forever Young pops on. And like, I literally, like, same thing, you go from this, like, we like joke now that like, you don't like play Rod Stewart, or you don't like play Forever Young, like it finds you when you need it. I'll kind of leave it at that, but that's how, Rod Stewart has just became, an absolutely like mythical figure. Yeah, this larger than life figure within my life. So I obviously had to have a Rod Stewart vinyl on the wall, because if Rod Stewart's looking over me, then possibilities are endless. So thank you so much for watching this one. This is one of the more unorthodox ones, but I hope you enjoyed the stories of how it came to be. Thank you for watching again. I hope you have a tremendous day today, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.